This video provides Folio administrators with an overview of the options under the Folio Admin tab. This is not meant to replace the one-on-one training that was conducted during your school's implementation. For step-by-step instructions to the Folio Admin tab functions, please consult your Folio Administrator Training Manual or contact Folio Support. Options under the Folio Admin tab allow you to configure Folio to reflect your school's professional growth and evaluation philosophy for the upcoming school year. The School Manager allows you to add your school logo, create a custom URL, manage new account notification preferences, create a cycle start date, and add your school description, which is displayed under User Dashboards. Profile Manager allows you to determine which options are enabled on user profiles. The Milestone Manager allows you to determine which milestones are tracked through Folio. The Feedback Manager allows you to manage options for student, peer, and supervisor feedback. Permissions allow you to grant users access to the Folio Admin and School tab functions. You may also grant users access to view all profile and feedback data. Here are some questions to get you started. What school mission information will be shared with the organization? Will feedback be used? If so, what aspects will be used? What options under Profile will your school use? Do you intend to set up Folio milestones throughout the year? Who else may have permission to the Folio Admin tab or the School tab? Now let's go to Folio. I'm logged in as George Bailey, our school's Folio Administrator. Only the Folio Administrator has access to these two tabs, the School tab and the Folio Admin tab. Please keep in mind that the Folio Admin can view everyone's profile, notes, and feedback if enabled. So this should be someone who should have visibility to this data. I'm going to start with the Folio Admin tab. And once I click on that, I'm on the School Manager. Now most of this information should have been set up during your school's initial implementation. Here is where you can click on Choose File to add a school logo if you haven't done that yet. Here's some basic school information. This is where you can alter the web address. Under School Preferences, this is just an on-off toggle, and this just allows you to get email notifications once either an employee or student is imported into Folio. Under your cycle start date, that really is just when the Folio clock is going to begin. For example, this tells Folio when people can start putting in their goals for the next school year. You also want to keep in mind, however, that you want to make sure that all the year-end summary comments are put into Folio before this clock turns again. Because remember, after the cycle start date moves to the next year, all of those comments and notes will be posted on the year before. Here is your time zone, and underneath here is our school description. And this is something where you could put your mission statement, any tenets of faculty excellence. You can put any strategic plan information or anything that people might want to see when they are doing their goal setting, because this is going to show up on every person's dashboard page. Once you finish putting in this information, just click on Save Settings, and then you're back here to this main menu, and now I'm going to click on the Profile tab. Once I click on the Profile tab, this is just a series of on-off switches. I'm letting the system know whether or not we're going to see the About Me section of Folio, whether or not we're going to use the journey statement, whether or not we're going to ask users to put in both personal and professional accomplishments, whether or not we're going to be using the 5 words and the global word clouds report. Here also is whether or not we're going to be tracking goals or action items, and Folio Focus, and enabling projects and observations under each one of these, and whether or not your school is going to be using the Spotlight feature. Once you've made either the on or off, just click on Save Settings, and then you're back to the main menu, and I'm going to click on Milestone Manager. When I click on my milestone, this really is telling Folio whether or not we want to set up date milestones for each one of these items. Really, this is something that is going to dictate the color coding that you will see on your roll call page. Remember, if a date has passed due, it will display in red. If it's 2 weeks out, it will display in yellow. Obviously, if it's completed, it will be green. So again, these are just on-off switches. The first one is for profile completion. The thing to keep in mind is the goals are a part of profile. So you want to make sure that you have enough time for people to input their goals. The next one is the goals meeting, classroom observations, project, and year-end summary. Once you've made your selections, you can just click on Save Settings. And now I'm back to Feedback Manager. Feedback wasn't really anything that we covered during this initial implementation. So if you are interested in feedback for your school, please contact us at Folio. The general settings here I have for student feedback, peer feedback, and direct report feedback, which essentially is whether or not you're going to be doing supervisor feedback. And for this school, they are all off. This feedback visibility is who basically can see your feedback. So the first one, if I turn it on, that means my direct supervisor will see it. If I turn this one on, that means my supervisor and his or her supervisor as well. So that's up the chain. Again, I'm going to turn these off for now. Feedback triggering. This is just, again, with notifications on whether or not you're using feedback. If you will let students know manually or send them an email link. And then here's the duration. How long will that feedback be able for students to put it in? And this is the button to send supervisor feedback, all the requests. So it's going to be using all the information in the supervisor assignment to send that to all the employees. Here I have, and then I would just click on Save Settings after I've done that. Underneath here, I have all the adjectives. These are my school's value words that will display at the top of every feedback form. Again, if I put those in, I would just click on Save Adjectives. And then here I have different feedback forms. And this is where I would put in specific questions for each one of these relationships. We have just a broad one for teacher, coach, supervisor, and peer. And then we have a customized one here for lower school teacher and a wellness director. If you need to create a new relationship, click on that link. I'm going to show you now permissions, which is the last section for the Folio Admin tab. And this first one here is Folio Administrator, and that basically is giving someone the same rights that you have. That means they're going to display on everyone's page, so they have visibility to all the information in Folio, and they will also have the School tab. The School Data Administrator is only going to give people access to the School tab functions, and I'm going to be covering those in another video. But really that's more data input. So some schools have decided to give this to some administrative assistants or some members in their technology department. Underneath School Viewer, some schools have decided to set up School Viewers for members who are performing duties more of an HR function. Keep in mind, if you set someone up as a school viewer, they are going to have access to everyone's profile, notes, and feedback if enabled. All you need to do is type in someone's name, and then they will show up, and then you can add them. Again, if you don't want them there, you can just click the minus button, and then save changes, and then you're back to this main menu. So that really, again, is an overview of the Folio Admin tab. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at Folio Network. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.